Yes, but if men are the men craft a society where those women can be feminine, running, feeling safe to walk in neighborhoods with their children, with their dogs. It's like it's all relative. So
Yes,
really,
ma'am.
yeah, that's if black men over black women, some of them are just a reflection of black men. That's the thing. So I really just wanted to say, let's what else? Because I have to write this down. I was so frustrated. Like my mom's second husband, she married a white man. I was 14 when my mom remarried. She was married to my dad, and they divorced when I was very young. So I have
Oh,
two biracial sisters, and so I also know I have basically another side of the family who is white, and so I still spend time with them. We're like cousins too. I just call them my cousins because
Okay,
they're my sister's family.
what's the difference between dating a white man and a black man?
I think that's the type of white man also, because we can also look at its character, its culture,
Now,
but
type of white man
overall,
versus the type of black man you dated. What has been the difference?
the difference, I think that white men tend to be more relationship focused. And the ones when it didn't work out is because I didn't want to have kids. So I'm someone who's childless. That was just not what I wanted to do. But I would say that they're more family oriented. To me, I felt like they were more reliable. They were more dependable, and you didn't have all this stuff like hair issues, talking about hair and skin tone. It's like no matter what the state of your hair, they weren't worried about wigs and weave. But the types of white men I've noticed who care about that are the ones who have collaborations with black men.
Okay,
And I also tell black women that when you are, go ahead.
So you describe more or less white men. What were the black men like? Describe some of the black men.
Black men. Black men don't have to be. I want to sum it up in a sentence I used about maybe 3 years ago on a panel. Black men don't have to be good men. There's nothing that they really have to answer to, because the black women are they still have access to black women even when they themselves are at their lowest. So a black woman would still be, even if she's got it together, she's still choosing them and throwing herself at them. I think you've given examples of how these the black women are. You say that they're jealous of these other races and ethnicities of women because black men are choosing them over them. There's that, but what I've noticed is that black men there was always some drama. They weren't as trustworthy. So you don't build decent enough societies unless you still have to. The men have to have something to answer to. If they are misbehaving, the men, it's still that those women still in the end benefit from that man. For black women, most of them aren't benefiting from a black man. It's usually the opposite. It's usually black men are benefiting from black women. And listen, this isn't all black men, but for the most part, if statistics bear out anything, it's that black men are not doing as well as these other men. And even when a black woman is doing well, she's still pressured and is still culturally ingrained to still only choose black men. And most black women want black children. So yes, even when a black woman's not fat, be brave, she still prefers black men, just like white men still prefer white women. There are outliers and people have a preference, but overall, people do want the people who look like them, or people who are in proximity to them. But for black women who also have options, they're just not choosing low white men. They will be choosing white men on their level, and that's what usually happens.
I want you to listen to this.
Go ahead.
This strong connection
to foundational Black African American men. However, in connection to foundational Black African American men, however, they do not have the strong connection to me.
Who do you think they have the connection to?
They have a strong connection to an ideal.
What you mean?
They want somebody who is quote unquote, they want somebody like their grandmother. Let's be real.
Grandmother foundational, ain't she?
Yeah, she may be a foundational, but she was a foundational without rights. I'm not one who without rights.
Oh, you got your voice. You got your voice. You ain't
I'm the one who the grandmother told me what my rights were.
You like what they call that shit? Harris, what they say?
No, so do you think that
Harris
that you're like
Harriet told me?
would you define yourself as an independent woman?
I wouldn't even want to say independent. I'm forced to be independent. I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
What do you mean you don't want to be?
I don't want to be.
You want to live off a nigga?
No, fuck a living off a
It's not
nigga.
about living
No,
off of him.
it's not. No, it's not living off of. It's not.
Let her.
I got
Ooh,
you.
before I get you, I'm gonna ask you this question to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Why do we not ask? And this is like, I'm not trying to come for you when I'm about to ask
No,
this
go ahead,
question.
sweetie, go
But
ahead.
like, why is it? But because I've had this personal conversation.
We're gonna talk about it.
Wait,
We're gonna talk about it.
wait, because I personally, give me a second.
One at a time.
Because I personally had this conversation with a friend of mine that like is very much like she would identify herself as like a very mass presenting person who like is traditional in the sense of like she doesn't want her wife specifically to work and shit. So like when it comes to shit like that, why is it that we don't hold space to like allow specifically Black women and people of color to live in a life where they can be treated and down upon by a man compared to like white women and women who are not Black?
And see,
Wait,
yeah,
give me a second.
go ahead.
Because I
okay.
think it's crazy that we can sit here and we question Black women and people of color who want to like live the soft life, they say.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to white women specifically,
I heard all that, and can you hear me, John?
Yeah.
I'm sick of Black women like that, and this I speak about them all the time. I'm sick of that kind of Black woman. It's that desperation for what they're wanting is they just want a Black man to be better. But my thing is, and if they would get out of their heads and get out of the cultural indoctrination that you have to just stick with a Black man, then they won't have a problem. But I would say if that just then go and get in shape, stay in shape. I've always for Black women, move to areas where you have walking trails. When I was still single and by myself, always loved to be around like in historic districts, around where there were parks and even families, because even though I was by myself, everyone knew, okay, there's a single nurse over there. All the couples, they became just my friends. They looked out for me. One guy built me a bike. He was just built a whole bike for me because he knew I loved bikes. One guy, they changed my oil. The wives were nice to me. These people became a part of my family. So I'm for Black women. It's about, you have to look at, be strategic in where you want to live. If you're only around that rat race of what is it? Trying to get a Black man to do right, you already have failed. Black men, listen, I tell Black women, you owe Black men nothing and they owe you nothing. And that's that's what's embarrassing when I see this kind of woman doing that. If you know in yourself that you deserve more, you're not going to, you don't have to wait on someone to give that to you or to be seen like other women. The reason these other women are protected is because the men are just protectors. The Black community's dynamic is flipped. The Black woman is sadly in the protective role. And now that some of them are getting tired of it, now they're thinking, oh, now they all of a sudden want a Black protector. Well, that's never been to me, that's never really been the dynamic. But I hate, it's embarrassing when I see Black women do this.
I want to play this for you then.
Go ahead.
I want to play this for you. I want you to listen to an older black man. He says this. It's time for like the women in the position to
strength
lead.
in numbers after what he just said.
Right now.
No strength.
Hold on. So right now, Portia, what he's saying is that the women are in the position to lead. So why not let them lead? They're in the position right
Y'all
now.
already in it.
Right?
I'm in this particular moment, I'm equating leading to the financial structure
Right.
of the household.
Got you.
The dichotomy has flipped.
Okay.
Black women, majority, 51% in the urban community, make more money than the black man.
Right.
Therefore, you all are in a financial position to lead. You all are claiming head of household on tax forms. This is your time. This is your chance. From the patriarch to the matriarch.
Time is now, ladies and gentlemen. This is your chance to lead. And he's willing to cede his position. He said, go ahead, take the pole position. Any thoughts on that?
That's common too, and that's why a lot of this is, they'll call these situations matriarchy, saying the black community is a matriarchy. And John, I always have a comeback for that, because it's not. The black community is not a matriarchy. It would be more matrifocal, where it is just a woman being head of the household. But that same woman, just because you don't have a man in your home and you're raising children alone, does not make it a matriarchy. That because you still rely on the greater system, run by men for your needs. Women aren't providing the needs, and women aren't leading the major institutions that keep things running. It's just that the focus is the woman being head of household. So a lot of this, when black males would say that, they say it to. It's like they want to escape accountability that they have not been so-called, leading. But people don't understand. Some black men seem to want a title of leader, but they don't want what comes with what that means. If other women will cooperate with men, period, but a man has to show competency. And it is about, it's about money, how his the ability to earn. It's about how, if he's smart and he can negotiate, he can protect her, not only with physical, but with his brain. So women respect that. But what's missing in the black dynamic is the women have been raised to be that for the men, because they see the black man as a victim. So, John, also you have, like, with that man said that there's a lot of black men who think like that. And also you'll see what's also pushed to black women. I don't know if you've noticed this. What's always pushed on black women is a man who may not earn as much, but she should be glad to get a man. So she needs to put up with a black man, even if remember Tyler Perry said he's a billionaire. If she's paying the mortgage, he can only pay the light bill. You had a lot of these black female entertainers pushing to black women. This is all within the last 3 years. And they were on a heavy push because they saw that black women who are able to and desire to want to go out and date out, they noticed that was a big movement for black women, that they didn't have to just stay putting up with the foolishness of the black community. So you had a lot of these black women telling black women, hey, if you just find a man, clean him up. If he's homeless, clean him up, give him a good home, and then you have a man type of thing. They were also encouraging black women to even date bisexual black males, just so that she stays with a black man. So no other people's culture encourages the women to date down, which also is a problem when you are having children. So it's not just the fat black ones who are having kids who are going to be struggling because they're dating low. It's also the black women who have, who are doing pretty well. They're going to be competing with the same level of men that the lower black women are competing for, just as long as they stay in the black, within the black demographic of males. But it's shameful for any man to say that, John. No man should be caught dead making a comment like that. but that's not uncommon. Most of the Black women, who are professional, they look good, they're in shape, they're still putting up with a Black man who is not on their level. And that's a phenomenon that's very true. It's happening. They shouldn't worry about what a Black man does or who a Black man dates. I just wish Black women would stop that.
Nah, I don't disagree with you on that. Moden Gator, you want to get in? You know, before I get Moden, hey, Republic, I think someone reached out to you but doing a stream here. I think maybe it was me or Portia or Stanley, someone. But would you be interested? You have a lot of interesting opinions. I think the audience appreciates a lot of what you're saying. We'd love to have you up here regularly, giving us some wisdom here. I could go. Okay. We probably could talk for hours here. I have a lot of questions.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think Stanley had talked to me. I think I saw it, one of the comments from you. So yeah, and I'm on vacation now too. So, but yeah, John, I'm gonna think about it. Just, you let me know the times and all that stuff. But I sure wouldn't mind it.
Let me know the times. We'll work around you. You let me know.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay. Well, I will let you know, because I do enjoy these conversations, and I probably wore my fiance out with some of these conversations. That's why it's good to have them, with people who, there's always something new with it, and yeah, and it's more people to bounce off instead of just him. So, but yeah, I would like that.
I wanted to ask you a lot of questions. You probably take a lot of time. I wanted to ask you why, about not wanting to have children. We could get into that. That could be a whole show.
Okay.
What's it like? We talked about dating white men a little bit and dating Black men and compare and contrast, but we really didn't go into a lot of detail. We probably could do a show on that. There are many topics you probably are well versed on. My lovely lady Lisa's a nurse too, so she'll even probably come up from time to time and talk with
Hey, Lindy. Oh, okay. At least, yeah, that sounds good, because it really is. It's simple. I got to go to this parade today, so we're getting ready for that. But yeah, there's, and it wasn't out of hatred of Black men. It was like just the numbers make more sense, and also, I mean, it just means if you're a Black woman and you have you've gone to school. If the Black men are not there and they're dating out, you don't stop. It was so embarrassing to see Black women continue to be on this begging streak. Mm-hmm. Seeing Taraji P. Henson at an award show talking about Black men come home. That's humiliating. Like, where's your pride? Just stop doing that. And I think that it gave Black men this, I guess, kind of an edge to really to humiliate Black women even more. Mm. And that's why. And then these things crept over into, the social sphere, where you had a lot of these Black men who probably had a lot of issues with their mothers. And because they can't say the things to their mothers, they take it out on, these Black women who would be their counterparts. And so you see a lot of that. But usually what I've seen, you just don't see other men degrading the women of their race the way I've seen Black men do. Yeah. And it's just, yeah.
It is very interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that some of the behavior is not worth being called out.
Definitely. You are right about that.
I showed a picture earlier with Mike Tyson, and, he's heralded in the Black community, and he raped somebody. I talked yesterday about P. Diddy in a couple of streams. I'm not even coming on P. Diddy. I'm coming on the people that are holding him in high regard, pouring baby oil on themselves. Regardless of if he's guilty or innocent, he really mistreated those women and engaged in behavior that's not becoming. And he's not a hero, but he's being celebrated. And there's something to that. Yeah. And these are women celebrating P. Diddy as well. So it wasn't just the men there.
Oh yeah, I was especially. There's a lot of Black women. R. Kelly too. These Black women were very much, like there's this whole don't you hurt the black man you just want to come after the black man because he's black. So you have this deeply ingrained in black culture. So that's where a lot of that comes from, where black people protect predators. I've always said that. And a lot of these women have been abused too. And they've been had a situation where the predators who harm them as children or adults, they're still around. They've never been brought to justice. And these women still will be protectors of these men. So that there's a whole psychological process that's messed up. But I'm sorry, the other gentleman was wanting to speak. Yeah.
You've been quiet for quite a bit, man. Sorry about that. Lady, sorry about that. What's up? And when we defer to him, he's quiet.
Are you talking to me now, John?
Oh, man. You changed up on us?
Well, John, I'm told when to go to the masquerade and other people are wearing a mask, you should wear a mask.
What's up, Wale? Sorry about that, Wale. I didn't know that was you. What's up, Wale?
It's Molten Gator. We all wearing masks.
I got you. All right, Molten Gator.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. How's it going? Happy 4th of July to you.
Okay, if that's what you want to do, happy day to you too, man.
You have anything you want to comment on? We talked about quite a bit.
I was enjoying the exchange y'all were having, man. Actually,
yeah,
I'm in no hurry. I'm not in a hurry.
We're gonna have to get her up here more often. Run her own show. I'm sure she sounds like a lady that has a lot of topics on her head that she could express and get it all out. What do you think about that, Republic?
Oh yes, I sure do, and even not just about the race stuff. I mean, that's to me that's my zone, but also it for like medical stuff and how people have been making it seem like blacks are being treated, well, I guess, worse in in hospitals. I want to debunk maybe some of that stuff too. So it's like the black people have just been on this collision course with false information. And I think that it's just taken on a life of its own. So yeah, it's just a lot of topics I would like to discuss. The victimhood stuff. The victimhood. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, we have to do it. What's up, Chris Reed? Yeah, we have to do it. We have to. Whenever you're ready, we make it happen for sure. We make it happen.
Okay, I'll let you. Well, hey, thank you for letting me up, and hello to the other panel guests, and hey, chat. So I'll be listening as we ride to this.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Republic, is it? I came up because I had heard you, and I was like, I like the way it's going right now. Earlier, I didn't like the vibe, but the vibe and stuff, the way it was going, I kind of enjoyed it, so I came up on that. I didn't mean to run you off because
you did. I have a parade to go to. We're going to one of the 4th of July parades in the neighborhood, so that's where I'm heading off to.
Oh yeah, do your thing.
Okay, but I would like to talk to you. It'd be good to talk with you again too. But thank you for that.
Yeah. You see the number in the stream. Send me a text and I'll respond back with my regular number, and we talk offline and get you set up here. Okay,
all right. I will take a screenshot and I'll do that.
Right there at the bottom, right now on the bottom of the screen.
Okay, let's see. Oh wait, hold on.
It'll come back.
Okay, is it that 309?
Yeah, 309.
Okay. I think I called. Okay, let's see. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
6-3. All righty, John.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
What love?
What's up, Wale?
Hey, John, I was sitting here thinking, I said, why you're a very interesting dude, man.
What do you mean by that?
I've been listening for about 2 hours, I guess. I don't know. I played a game of chess and stuff like that while I was listening. You know how long stuff take. Had a cup of coffee and stuff. But I mean by that, the way you disassociate and you talk in terms of they, and I was wondering, you say the blacks, and I was wondering, what are you?
I'm black. You can look at me and tell me I'm black.
No, cousin, I can't make any assumptions. I must go on what a person tells me. I don't like making assumptions, reading between the lines. I don't do all that either. I ain't into all that kind of stuff. Presumptions. I'm into knowing things. So I ask you, when you use your whole syntax is around being disassociated in the way you build a sentence. Is they, the blacks, you say. And I say, well, what are you, John? The blacks, you say. And I have to say, well, what are you, John? Because you're saying the blacks is like saying, I'm saying, okay, the YouTubers. You're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Well, how you talking about the YouTubers? Are you talking about yourself? And then you say the blacks, and then the way you say the blacks, as though they don't know what they are doing. But what are you then? See this? It's not math to me. Will you please explain?
Yeah, it may be a way I speak, but here's so if I say something like the blacks that are trying to assimilate into white neighborhoods. Well, I'm not talking about me. Shit, nigga, I live in the hood, right? Black people everywhere, right? Some days I go weeks without seeing a white person. So in that sense, that's what we're talking about. The blacks that are trying to bang their head against the wall to assimilate and live a life that it doesn't come natural to me. I guess in that sense.
That's not my question, actually, John. My question is such that even the people that you spend your 75% of your time around, as you say, a lot of your time, most of your time, whatever, you still refer to them as the black. And I'm listening to you for hours, man. Come on. I didn't just come up with this. That's why I even said something about it, because I've been studying it, right? And it's not the very first time, but it's the first time I put it on intense study, because I saw your association with the whites. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. It's like a class in psychology or something. So I was just curious, how do you disassociate yourself, put them over here and play, in your verbiage, you put them over here in a big group, the blacks, you set yourself over here on a little island somewhere, and then you associate with the whites as though somehow now you guys are, I don't know, equitable, I don't know, equal. Is it equal? It seems, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Because I'm curious. I'm not on you. I'm not on your. I'm not hostile. I'm just very curious how that. What's the functioning of that?
I think I'm looking at your question. Make it real. Yeah.
I'm not hearing you.
Oh shit! I may be missing your question a little bit. If you can help me out again. I have 2 drinks. Three. Now, as I say, like I live around blacks. When I worked as a software developer, there weren't many blacks, and I think that for the blacks that are trying to live around white people and they're really busting their head, trying to aspire to something that they will never ever really achieve. I've seen blacks who live in white neighborhoods pay a premium. I highlighted right here where so many blacks are trying to live away from other blacks. I don't have that problem, right? Like, I live around blacks. And
is that enjoyable for you? Is that enjoyable for you?
Like when I go to the white neighborhoods, when I go to my other properties in the white neighborhoods, I do live streams, and that shit's nice, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's nice. Bars and clubs and boutique restaurants and shit. Yeah, I like that too. You know what I mean? But then I come back home to the Chitlin circuit, and I'm over here.
Okay.
And I'm fine, right? But I think a lot of blacks want what the whites create. They want it bad. They're very desirous of that, and they're willing to pay premium prices to live around white. I don't have that problem, right? And I think my solution to a lot of these blacks that like CKJ3. He says, I got to spend money to go to send my children to private school because he can't send his children to school around blacks. It would be far better for the blacks to solve that problem as opposed to forcing themselves on other people, going to other people, white people neighborhoods. As an example, look at Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony's family moved all the way to the whitest of white neighborhoods they could afford, and then he ended up killing somebody there. Like,
I thought you were going to say Cuba. He opened a school right there for colored children.
Right, and you know,
right there in Colored Town. He ain't going nowhere and try to do this and that.
Right, and I talked about Cuba, and no disrespect to Cuba, but like,
you mean disrespect. Every time you preface with no disrespect is definitely on the heels of that statement.
Because black people would take things the wrong way if you offer up a critique. And I think that I live around the corner from Cuba when I'm in Brooklyn, so I know of what I speak.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Every corner store from my house to Cuba to school is owned by foreigners, and every one of them corner stores make about $30,000 a month. Cuba trying to go to the moon. You need to conquer the ground first. That's always been my opinion. The blacks don't even control their own corners, and they try to go to the moon. That's just me.
What you mean by trying to go to the moon? I'm kind of lost with that phrase right now.
And he's trying to build rockets, some shit like that. What are you trying to do? Build robots, rockets? It's a STEM academy that he's running. Listen, goddamn it, listen.
Go ahead.
I taught myself software at 6.
Okay, beautiful.
Little did I know that I would do that shit for 20-something years as a software developer.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
All that school and shit, trying to teach motherfuckers to become a STEM, bro. You gonna run into a nigga like me that's been doing this shit since I was a child. And you just when you went to college, bro, you're at an extreme disadvantage. And I've told people here, I used to go on interviews, bro, and one of the ways the real software developers, at least in my generation, they used to weed people out. They said, what was your first computer? What was your first computer? They would ask me. And I said, I had Commodore 64, and then they knew. Right then, they knew. Right? Because there wasn't no fucking playing games, it was hacking. And I've been doing this shit for a long time. It's in my blood. You understand? And trying to make these black STEM and shit, it ain't working. It ain't working. It's much easier to do corner stores.
See, you're doing exactly what I was making reference to. You say yourself, and then you say these blacks.
Yeah.
Are you not a black? Then you should be included.
But I'm a black. Let me see if I can show you this picture.
Oh, you one of them? You're a magic nigga. You're magical niggas. They call them.
Magic too. I'm
okay. I get you. For niggas like that other boy I heard somebody mention earlier.
I might go a little magic too. Let me see if I can show you something. Let me see if I can show you something. Hold on 1 second.
Like I said, it's a study to me, so I'm not personal, and there's no aggravation. I mean, no aggravation, man.
Honestly, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? I really don't mind. I want to show you something though. Let me show you this. Look at it. Can you see this? Look. You see that? You see that?
Hold on a minute. I have to enlarge my screen and put that on.
I was doing it too.
What are you showing me though? I mean, what is the purpose, John? Come on, man. I don't need to look at everything.
I just want to make you see it first, and then I'm going to explain. Right?
Okay.
You see that right there? Just so we clear. So
you see the scene that you have the photograph.
You got it right. You got it. That's
what
right.
About?
That's right around. That's right around the corner from where Cuba trying to build a fucking rocket. There's a little 12-year-old boy. Slinging Lucy's beer and whatever the fuck the niggas want. Right there in Cuba's neighborhood. And that store makes $30,000 a month. Cuba trying to build rockets, my nigga. And this young boy right here slinging the beer, the cigarettes, and everything else these niggas are consuming day to day. Right? Like, fuck them rockets, man. Get down on the ground and do this. That's a 12-year-old in the middle of COVID. That nigga ain't got no mask on. He's serving beer.
You talking about the boy in the blue shirt?
That little boy with his face covered up. Yeah. That boy.
I don't know. I'm saying two heads. I don't know what you're talking, man. So I'm saying the guy in the blue shirt, that's the one you're talking about, is 12 years old.
Boy.
And he's running a counter right at the moment. Is that what we're looking at?
That's in the hood, my nigga. That's in the hood. That's in the ghetto. That's right around the corner from where Cuba they're trying to go to the moon. It's right around the corner.
What's your point about that, though? I still don't understand what you're saying about that.
While
You said
I got one sentence. While blacks are trying to go to the moon, you got a 12-year-old boy running a corner store. It's very simple, man. It's very simple. The blacks.
I'm saying to you, what you're saying to me makes no sense, because you say blacks are as though you are not, and if you are, then blacks are. It's not adding up. The math ain't mathing.
Right. I could ask 100 blacks, would they allow their child to run that corner store? And I've done this. The majority of the blacks would say, hell no. I said, okay, well, give up the corner. Give up your corners to somebody else. A foreigner will come into your corner and take your corner if you give it up willingly. Okay, so this is what the end result looks like. While you're trying to figure out how to get to the moon, you got somebody down on your corners extracting $30,000 a month. You understand that? The blacks don't want to do this. This is beneath them, right?
What, to open a bodega?
Yeah, they don't want to do this. It's beneath them. That's
Oh,
why
dude. Oh, let me talk to you about that, because apparently you don't know about that on the for real, because you say blacks. I don't know what you're talking. A lot of stuff you be saying, I'm finding out, is in a haze, and that's okay. But it seems still a psychological event. But it's hazical. It's in a haze in Malays. I was in a town, a little town like you're in now, the one you're showing me the photograph of now. It had, listen, John, or not, let me know, because I don't want to waste my time. Okay, so I was in a little town just like you're showing now, that had them little places like you're showing now. Let me tell you about it. It'll take about almost 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. There were 5 stores within my walking distance. I could reach them all within 2 minutes. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the stores was run by a Puerto Rican. The other one was run by a Korean. The other one was run by a guy from Algeria.
Mm-hmm.
He was like Islamic type thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and these 3 stores were there, and 2 other stores were there. One was run by an older colored gentleman, and then the last one, the next one was run by just some. They came in later. That's why. It's kind of like an Italian, but they came in later. They opened a different Puerto Rican store across the street. So now it's 2 Puerto Rican stores, 2 colored people stores, and the 1 Korean store. Do you know that I'm telling you, all them stores were open. They had about the same hours. Some of them had the same products and stuff like that. Every time I went to the Korean store, the customers were there. Every time I went to the colored stores, I was the only customer for hours.
Okay.
I checked to see what was the difference between the 2. I started asking questions, like you say you would ask people, because I'm a very curious guy. So I asked people why they don't buy from this person, why they buy from that person. Is it a matter of the pricing? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, right? Because the 2 colored people went straight up out of business. It took them a while, especially the last man. He hung in there a long time because his store was attached to his house. So he was able to maintain it a lot longer than the other people, the other colored folk, right? Okay, so mind you, I asked them all that. It wasn't the price. They didn't like his attitude, they said.
So that's
mostly they didn't like his attitude. That was the most, I'm just saying, that was the thing I heard most from them, right? And then I got about the other store like that too. The other store run by colored people. It wasn't a matter of attitude. They just thought they were being charged more.
Mm.
They felt they were being charged more because they didn't really memorize the prices and stuff, but they felt they were being charged more. He's cheating me when he adds it up, or that kind of thing. They were suspicious, and that's why those two stores went out of business. The Korean store lasted the longest, and then what's the next one? The Spanish store got so good to them, they opened up yet another Spanish store down the street, which is further away from me. And from the other two, they opened up one like 4 or 5 blocks on further down the street, another Spanish home Puerto Rican joint. I say Puerto Rican. I don't know if they Puerto Rican Dominion or what. They, Spanish speaking people, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you this question. Can you name a black-owned grocery store, like a grocery store chain?
Oh no, I don't. No one. But I know guys, I know colored guys that own franchises. I know a colored guy that owns that. When I knew him anyway, he owned 13 KFCs.
That's not a grocery store. I said a grocery store.
I heard what you said. Shit, I'm just telling you what I know. I don't know about no grocery store. Do you know any what you call black people that own grocery stores? Can you answer?
Did you know the world's first black-owned, tech-powered grocery store is right here in Atlanta? Meet Nourish and Bloom Market. Founded by Jalea and Jamie Hemmings, Nourish and Bloom combines innovation and intention.
Niggas always got music people. They like to bop their motherfucking heads.
That's what I'm saying. See how you say they like to bop. You mean you don't? You don't?
Which is why they offer fresh beef.
You know what else I
don't? This association. It sounds like a trauma of psychology.
Hell yeah. Because you know what else I don't fucking do?
Now we get to it.
Now, you know what I don't fucking do?
Yes, sir.
You know what I don't fucking do?
Please tell.
Let me show you what I don't do.
I appreciate it.
Now
Please
tell. I could show you this. I could show you that.
You can show me anything, John. I'm good. Show me whatever you like, baby.
I don't understand what the fuck nigga do that.
Okay.
The dancing people. We like to party.
Okay.
Short boy! Man, what the fuck wrong with you big ass? No, I don't do that. Nigga, I don't do that. Bone in my body. Mm-hmm. So I got to give these people a name. And I said, well, fuck it. They look black. They call themselves black. The blacks do that shit. I don't do that shit, nigga.
So you're not the blacks then. Yeah. Okay, then that's what I'll ask you. You say you black. I'm saying, okay, are you or not? Now you say you're not. So make up your mind, man. It sounds like you got a drama thing.
I ain't that, right? And I ain't this. I don't go to no motherfucking African to do my hair, nigga. I do my own.
Like you do your own hair. I can see you do your own hair.
Yeah, that's pretty black. When you say Wale, would you say that's pretty black? Modern Gator, would you say that's pretty black? Mm.
I have no idea, man. I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty black.
And you say you're black, yet you say that's not you. Yet you say you're black. It's a conundrum. Yeah, what's going on? If this is the thing, are you doing that Star Trek thing that Captain Kirk did with the computer? I'm a liar. How can I be a liar? And I'm telling you, I'm a liar. And the computer get into that conundrum, and it blows its circuits and shit because it makes no sense. What you're saying makes no sense. And I'm not a computer, so I can't blow my circuits. I just have to report that what you are presenting as your reality makes no sense. So I'm attempting to get to an understanding, either by you or me, of what you are actually doing.
Well, what I'm saying to you, Wale, and as I say, man, like I see blacks trying to be things that they can't. Hence, Q-Butter trying to go to the moon while this is going on in his neighborhood.
Let me ask you, are you trying to do things that you can't?
Nah, I stay within my lane.
Oh, wait a minute, cousin.
My lane, bro.
I think that's where it's at, though. You had been trying to do things that you could not get done,
Like
and
what?
then you
what?
set back
Like
and
what?
you accuse.
Like
I
what?
don't know.
Like what?
You're gonna say, you know better than me, cousin. It's your life. I'm just circumscribing it as best I can by your answers and the way you speak and the things that you're saying. You're actually positioning yourself, and I'm just circumscribing that position. Like on a map, I'm not telling you where you are. You are telling me. I'm just saying, okay, you're saying from this vector to that vector, to here I stand to that vector. So then I ask you about a different point in reality, and you say on that vector, this way I'm at on that vector. And then I say, okay, now when I put all them vectors together, I can pinpoint where you are, John. This is regular, you know, how things are done. So I'm asking you only, like I said, without accusation, because everyone has.
No, I don't take it as an accusation. Go ahead.
Whatever their love of life is, everyone has a right to that. For me, that's how I feel. Whatever your love of life is, you have a right. If somebody kills you for that, then they have a right for that too. You know what I mean? But the thing I'm saying to you is simply this. As you were describing about the blacks, yet you say you are a black, are you not by just the words you're using talking about yourself? And how are you not and say at the same time you are? So when you separate that conundrum in your mind, I have it already separated. But I don't understand how you are separating. Because I'll tell you right away, I'm not black. You ask anybody, they'll tell you in 10 seconds. Well, you can't find me nowhere I've been out here talking for a while. You will find nowhere where I say I am black. I don't even agree with that. How could I be black and I got a black stereo? I got a black doggone pair of shoes. I got a black knife handle. You understand what I mean? I know what black is. I'm not an idiot. And it makes no sense for me to lie because, as I say, we should up our ancestors' reputation, the one that we are mullying and sullying. Our ancestors' reputation is to speak the truth all the time. Worldwide, that's our ancestors' reputation. But now we have come to sullying that reputation by behaving like the forked tongue people, and our word can't be trusted. And that's what the young woman was saying. She found when she was hanging out with the colored guys, their word they had no honor. Their word was honorless. They couldn't be taken. You know, they didn't have that integrity going on.
You know, go ahead. I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second.
Go ahead.
I will agree with you on that, and I've seen it myself. I don't talk about it as much as she does, or as expensively as she does. But I've been a landlord to blacks, or however I call them. I've been their landlord, and I'm also a software developer. And so, software developers, we see patterns. It is what it is, and I started to see patterns in black behavior. That's what I see. The lack of honor, not just to their women, but to their landlord too. They break shit, then say they didn't break it. They throw trash in the trash can. You ask them, hey man, can you at least throw trash out? No, I ain't doing that no more. I just take the trash out that I put in there and never put trash in again. I've seen them do that. And then when I rent to white people, I'd be like, damn, but the white people don't act like this. Like, they get along. I was in the house just the other day, bro. Just the other day. They had taken the trash out. I've never had to take the trash out. They had white people. They take their own fucking trash out. But then I go to the blacks, they would just pile that shit up. And this is why I say, like in Philadelphia, it's somewhat of a punishment that the blacks are going on strike. Because blacks are a little bit more tolerant of living in filth. I've seen it with my own eyes, right? Like, You'd be amazed. You like the trash can, they could, and I've shown it on stream. The trash can would be 6 feet away. They're just dropping on the ground. You'd be like, God damn. Like, you couldn't walk 6 feet. You just dropped it right. As soon as you got done eating, you just dropped it on the ground. Motherfucking, it'd be stores, bags from stores that are nowhere near here, left on the ground here. They destroy any opportunity for commercial businesses, but yet they would throw the trash from those same businesses that are miles and miles away right in their community. It's mind-blowing to me. And I've seen it. And then when I turn on the news or I listen to blacks and they say, well, it is structural, it's racism, this and that. And I'm like, man, like, if you just focus on cleaning up your neighborhood, like the bare basics, you start there. And then a nigga talking about, I'm going to build a rocket. I'm going to go to the moon. Like, what the fuck? What? Look what's on the screen, nigga. You can't even sell cigarettes to yourself. What the fuck are you talking about doing with rocket going to the moon? The fuck you talking about? Nigga, you got these dumbass niggas. Look at these dumb niggas in the chat. Look at this dumb nigga right here. Like, John, you got some black ass habits. You know one black ass habit I ain't got, nigga? I worked 2 jobs for 20 years. I could bring niggas on the stream that know me very well. That was, yeah, that nigga worked 2 jobs for 20 years while running houses, putting niggas ass in and putting niggas ass out. Right? That ain't no black nigga habit right there. Because I ride on my bike in the ghetto and I show you what the niggas doing. They ain't doing what I did.
John.
When I went, you know what I was doing? I was jobs,
you pissing in the ocean, John, right now. I know niggas that not only did that, they did that and raised 5 children.
Well, ain't enough of them.
All 5 of the children. I know niggas that did that stuff you're talking about and raised 5 children by himself. And all 5 of the children were girls. So what you're saying is just like you did it.
I go around the corner to the Popeyes in the ghetto at the intersection of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The Hispanics run it. I've shown it on this stream. Right outside, the blacks are just chilling. Able-bodied blacks standing up, smoking cigarettes, doing nothing. Some of them even bring out lounge chairs and just sit on the corner. Cuba are trying to build a rocket amongst trash.
And you lived there amongst trash, bragging about you had a job for some time in your life, as though that's an ultimate accomplishment of a, I don't know, man. Do your thing. I ain't arguing with you, like I said. But you say, yeah, the man is trying to build a rocket ship to go to the moon. And what are you doing to take? I mean, you're just showing me what the Cubans are doing on this corner, and what the Arabs are doing on that corner. What are you doing about those incidences? What are you changing in that structure and that environment that will increase, that you think that he's totally overlooking, which is true? Maybe he's just totally a crazy man. Let's set him to the side as a crazy man. Oh, no, I want to go to extremes.
Go to extremes.
Because that's the only place to go. Let's say he's just a crazy man that sits out there naked all the time. It don't matter. I'm saying, what are you doing when you talk about there's a guy on the streets, this guy over here on the stores, this guy over here on the stores, this guy over here on the stores, this guy over here on the stores? Yes, they do. And I'm going to tell you something else. Those immigrants, and they all immigrants, even Trump and his father are immigrants. All them immigrants do is go to the nigger neighborhood and take all the energy out. You said yourself, he's making more than you per month, 30,000 out of slinging cigarettes. A 12-year-old boy in that store making 30,000 a month. They killing you too. Tell me, what are you doing to change that dynamic and throw down or try to give some children some attention so that we can have our children moving forward, or thinking in those terms, just thinking in those terms of advancement? Please do tell. One love.
Just like that man right there slinging them cigarettes. Shit, I'm playing these rooms. Like, I am the landlord of last resort to many of these blacks in my city where I live. Mhm. The landlord of last resort. Like, these niggas calm me down on their hands and knees. Not many people.
I know you're doing the Trump now. They kiss my ass.
They
I tell
better.
them, that's what you're doing. You know what? You reminded me of something just now. It was a speech that Denzel Washington made in a movie. I think it's called Gladiators or something like that. Something about Rome.
Yeah.
And he says, and I want you to hear this, man. Really, the dream of a slave. The dream of a slave is not freedom. The dream of a slave is to have a slave of his own.
Yeah, I like that. I like having a slave on my own better than being a slave.
That's your dream. That's the dream of a slave.
Hey, man.
Hold on. That's the dream of a slave. No, I'm saying that's the dream of a slave. The dream of a free man is different. But the dream of a slave, that's how you know you are enslaved. That's how you know your position. You are a slave. And now you are able to lord your position in the slavery over the next slave. And then dial that down to where you talk about all the other so-called blacks, which you admit you are, but you are different. You are unique and raised above black. So now, then in that position, which I don't deny you that position of being distinct and raised above, what are you doing to make your rest of your people come up to your position? I'm not denying your position. Love it. What are you doing to help others come up to your position so when you look at them, you can say, hey, my people are throwing down because I'm a unique nigga. I am a special kind of nigga, and I'm putting our people up.
Look at
Are
this.
you doing that?
Look at this. Look at this.
Asking you a question and you're telling me to look at some kind of.
I'm going to explain to you what it is.
No, answer my question, cousin. You got to answer my question. I can't even deal with whatever you're doing. I don't understand.
Yeah, I understand. So again, there are many different ways that you go about cracking the nut. There are people that argue blacks need more education. I don't think so. I mean, when you look at their neighborhoods, you look at what they're majoring in, you even look, if you be honest, you look at their IQ. Like, they don't need more education. Education is harming them. Take a look at this. Look at this. Listen.
Down in Tyson, Virginia, at a consulting firm called Ernst & Young. We'll be doing data and AI implementation and development.
What are your post-grad plans?
I'm moving to Atlanta and I'm doing my standard license, taking a gap year, and then starting my master's next fall.
Yes. What are your post-grad plans?
I'm going to continue being an essential worker while studying for the LSAT.
What are your post-grad plans?
Okay, so I plan on taking a both year, not a gap year, and I'll be studying for the
LSAT. Post-grad plans?
I will be going to UCLA in the fall, entering my PhD program for political science.